What's good, YouTube? It's your boy Phantom coming at you with another video. Now in today's video, I'm going to be talking about the time I went to a party that got shot up, and it was absolutely crazy. So this is going to be a crazy story. I hope you all enjoy. Without further ado, let's get into it. Now, on this day, or at this time, I was staying in motel rooms doing a shit ton of coke. I'm going to make a series about that pretty soon, but yeah. So I was like 20 something. I was like 21, I think, when this happened, and maybe 22. And basically, I was chilling with my friends all day. We were smoking weed and drinking. My friend was driving. Don't drink and drive, stupid. But that's what we were doing. He's a really good driver. He was being safe. He wasn't like too drunk behind the wheel. He had a high alcohol tolerance, but that's still no excuse. You know, drive high, get a DUI. So anyways, we saw this advertisement for a party, a Halloween party. It was a mask themed party. So you had to wear a mask or like a Halloween costume to get in. And you had to pay $10 to get in. So I was just chilling with my homies around the block, and we were just getting ready, getting our gear on. I made a like a shiesty, like a ninja hat out of one of my t-shirts, and I gave my friend my actual mask because I'm just a good friend like that, I guess. Anyways, yeah, I gave him my mask, and I decided to go and walk up the street with my homies and pay to get into this party. So we're walking up the street, we're just chilling, we're just vibing, we're just talking. And I make it up the street, and I see the people in the front, like the security in the front. I guess you could call them security. They were just kids making sure that you have to pay your money to get in the door, through the front door. But I pay the money, and as soon as I pay this guy, people start running out of the house screaming, "He's got a gun, he's got a gun." And I was just like, nah, like I wasn't taking it seriously because there's not that many people running out. And then I heard the shots pop off. And after 2 shots, I started running. There was a total of 6 shots, so I assume he had a revolver or something. And I was like, damn, like, fuck, dude. Like, I'm running down the street with like 200 or 300 people. And it was just quite an adrenaline rush, you know, just trying to get away from all that. And I make it back to my friend's car. I grab my backpack. I pull out my knife, and my friends are like, "Where are you going?" And I was like, "I'm going after this fucking dude. Like, no one's gonna fucking shoot up a party like and get away with it on my watch." Like, that was my fucking mentality at the time. Like, really stupid. You should just call the cops and dip out of there. But my mentality was like, I'm gonna get this fucking dude. Like. And I was asking people who were walking down the street after they were far away from the house, they were walking kind of fast, not running. I was asking people like, what did this guy look like, yada, yada, yada. And they're like, he had a gray shirt, whoop-de-woo. And I was like, okay, I'm going to try and find this guy. I never ended up finding him. And the cops eventually showed up. Oh, by the way, I had a backpack with a 1/4 pound of weed in it, and I hid it in some bushes by some house. And I hid it pretty well. It was in someone's front yard, but it was nighttime, so nobody was going out to like look through their yard at night unless they're fucking tweaking. But I waited for the cops to show up because I wanted to see if my boy Caleb was all right, because he was one of the event planners at this party that went to shit. And yeah, so I waited there, and the cops pulled up really quickly. So before I could even get to the house, there was this one cop that was like stopping me, and he already knew my name. A lot of cops in my my city know my name. Like, my record's pretty, well, now it's pretty fat. It wasn't super fat at the time, but it was decent little file on me. But he's like, "No, Steven, you can't go up there. We don't have the details on what's going on right now." And I was like, "I just want to check if my friend Caleb's all right." And he's just like, "No, you can't go." And I ended up texting him later. I was like, "You good?" And he was good. Yeah, it turns out like him and the other people were detained, and they put him face down in the grass. just to like make sure it wasn't them that shot up the party, even though they were the ones running it. But yeah, so like a dozen cop cars show up, an ambulance, and I think a fire truck, and it was just a crazy sight to see all that, like all those people running down the street, all those cops showing up, the gunshots, everything was just crazy about that night. But I eventually called my aunt and I said I needed a ride home. I told her what happened, so she sent me an Uber, and or I don't know if she sent the Uber or my grandpa did, but I definitely called my aunt and told her what happened and asked for a ride. I don't know if she said no or not. It was so long ago. Some details I can't really remember as well as others, but yeah. So after that night, fast forward about, I'd say months later, maybe even a year or two, and I run into this girl at the mall who's friends with my other homie River, and she told me that like we got into the conversation about that party, and she told me that she actually got grazed in the hand by one of the gunshots, and she was the only person who got hit in the party with a shot. So that was crazy. Um, yeah, so we were just, me and River were just chilling with her talking. I had some blow on me, and this is kind of like a little side story, like after a little story after the story. But I just thought I'd tell it just for the sake of making this video a little bit longer. But I had this fucking huge ass like hemp blunt from my plug, my Coke plug. He threw it in for free when I bought the blow, so that was pretty cool of him. And I didn't even feel like smoking weed. When I do Coke, I don't feel like smoking weed. I just want to do more Coke. But yeah, he or she, I gave the joint to these girls, or the blunt or whatever it was. It was like a thick blunt wrapped in hemp, and it was really strong shit. And I think it had wax in it. And there was this girl who got shot in the hand. She had two other friends with her, and I was just with my friend River. That rhymed. Um, but yeah, so I gave them the blunt, and they were like smoking it, and this one little girl was like going hard on it, like she was just fucking smoking like a chimney. And I was looking at her like she's gonna get too high, like I already know. And she did. She had to sit down. She was having a panic attack. I felt bad, but they're like, did you hit this blunt, or like did you touch it before you gave it to us? And I was like, no. And they knew I had blow on me, and they didn't want to be around that shit because a lot of the time Coke can get laced with fentanyl. But that's definitely why she asked, because she was afraid if some of the Coke got on the fucking blunt and it was laced with fentanyl. But basically, I just waited it out until she felt better, and she did. She eventually got up, and they walked away, and I had a good old time with my boy River, just doing some blow at the mall. But anyways, that's the story, guys. I hope you all enjoyed this one. Like and subscribe if you haven't already, and peace.